And we are back once again to Slime Isekai Memories. Alright, so continuing doing events that I didn't post or didn't do, this is one of the events that I forgot to post. I'm pretty sure I still have the original recording, and if I do, I'm gonna put that in the description of this video, but QA time with yours truly, Veldora. So I think this is some kind of special DVD release or something that came in the season 2? Like Blu-ray or something like that. I can't exactly remember, but yeah, this is probably like an extra few short cutscenes with Veldora talking, if I remember correctly. QA time with yours truly, Veldora, Part 1. Q&A time with yours truly, Veldora. I am Veldora Tempest, one of the 4 true dragons in the world, and thus, one of the strongest beings in existence. One day, a brief lapse of judgment led to my 300-year period of confinement in the clutches of a cell called unlimited imprisonment. Those years were marked by a routine that went well past simple boredom into a realm of sheer futility. Ever since my chance encounter with a slime who would later become my lifelong friend, Rimuru, I bided my time inside of his stomach until I could resurrect myself. And finally... Wahahaha! I, the Storm Dragon, Veldora Tempest, am fully revived! All who defy me will be slaughtered! Wahahaha! I got out of the can more quickly than I planned, thanks to Rimuru becoming an awakened demon lord. But could you believe that guy? Look, do you think you can tone down the enormous aura? You're gonna scare everyone in town. I think this event released right around the... I'm trying to remember, like the original Veldora diary? Because one of them was like super non-canon to how it happened, and one of them was pretty canon. I don't remember if this one was the one that was more canon. Because, like, as soon as he was released, he was hiding from the townspeople. While in the normal series, he just comes over and, like, everyone's fine with it. Like, no one does anything. Like, they're all shocked that this is Veldora, but they're not, like, mad or, like, have to hide him. Well, I don't have a problem toning it down, especially since it's a request from my best friend. But just so you know, the first thing I said was a joke. I didn't have the slightest intention of massacring people indiscriminately. I may not show any mercy to enemies. But it was Rimuru who unified Joara in my absence, and paved the way for everyone to coexist by transcending boundaries between species. And since Rimuru treasures cooperation, I have no intention of going on a rampage like I did once upon a time. Come to think of it, I guess I was responsible for a tiny bit of mischief when I was a little less mature. So considering my reputation, I could see how my resurrection would be met with some buzz. Having a star like me on his hands, Rimuru wanted to avoid getting too much attention. So he prepared this puny human body for me. On the other hand, it's not so bad when you look this good. Actually, between this handsome face and these toned muscles, I'd even say I'm really good looking. I thought he came up with his own body. Like, was that body Rimuru's designed, actually? All the girls would go crazy over a face like this. I mean, I could see myself becoming an instant celebrity without even saying a word. Or so I thought. This is Veldora. He's a tad shy around new people, but try to make friends with him. Okay, so yeah, this one uses the actual anime stills. So this one's probably the more canon one that I was remembering. Not really the Veldora diary. Yeah, that one I'm pretty sure he had to hide away. It somehow took him days to hide his aura, when it actually only took him, I think, only a few minutes, maybe a few hours. And then he was introduced to everyone right after he hid his aura. Hang on a second! What are you talking about? I'm not shy. There just weren't very many people who could make it to me alive. Talk about being unnecessarily considerate. I'm the friendly dragon who befriended a slime at first sight, remember? You don't need to tell people to make friends with me. I'm the one who's making friends with them. I mean, that was a little bit of a different scenario. For one, he couldn't do anything about Rimuru or anyone else coming towards him. Like, he couldn't kill them instantly. And plus, from the boredom, he just wanted somebody to talk to, something to say, because I would imagine, like, he should have gone crazy with those, like, 500 years that he was stuck, or 1,000 years, I forget the exact amount. After going back and forth for a bit, now we're in the middle of this banquet. This is a friendly territory, and needless to say, I'm surrounded by a sea of fans. The meat has finished cooking, Lord Veldora. You like it rare, if I remember correctly. Also, yeah, I think the triads were all serving Veldora in his time before he was sealed. But how old are the dryads? Like, are they hundreds, if not thousands of years old? Like, how young would have Trainee been at that point? Because Trainee is, like, the oldest of all her sisters, the three. And so, would she have been a child serving him? Or a teenager? Since she seems like the most mature woman of the three sisters. But yeah, this is a pretty nice image, just seeing them. I'm guessing Trainee's mostly the only fan. The only one that's, like, close enough to him is like, welcome back, Lord Veldora, while everyone else really doesn't know him, or is kind of scared because it's a storm dragon, Veldora. Yeah, I'll even eat it raw, but... Oh, would you like it cooked a little longer? Instead of a sea of fans, I'm only seeing familiar dryad faces. Ah, is everyone just being shy because of my regal presence? Shoot! This presents a problem then. I'd affect my dignity if I went around greeting people and saying, "Yo, I'm Veldora." Of course! I'm sure everyone has a bunch of questions for me, so I need to give them a chance to ask. In that case... Weep and rejoice, everyone! Being great as I am, I personally arranged for some recreation to complement tonight's banquet. Recreation planned by Lord Veldora? What is it? Please tell us. Wahahaha! Don't let your jaw drop now. We're kicking off an all-new Q&A session with yours truly. Wahahaha! Yay! Damn, even his biggest fans or his biggest assistants aren't really caring that much about his Q&A. What's gotten into you all of a sudden? Aren't you trying to reinvent your image now that you're free? Oh, it's nothing really. I just thought I'd follow your suggestion of letting the people here be my friends. It's the other way around. After all, the main purpose of this banquet is to commemorate my resurrection. The revival of our friends is a nice side note, of course. It's the other way around. Yeah, damn. I didn't remember Veldora being this self-centered. I guess because this part of the story breezed by super quickly. But yeah, that's interesting. He has main character syndrome because he is one of the 4 dragons and one of the strongest people in the world. I'd like to take this opportunity to speak candidly about myself, a subject I'm sure you've all been chomping at the bit to learn about. For this first segment, I'd like to answer any questions I'm liberty to talk about. There's more than one part! Oh, and if you have any questions that could be considered inappropriate by my agency, please run them by Rimuru. What agency? What am I, your manager? And what kind of questions would you consider inappropriate? Well, for one, there's my breast, waist, and hip measurements. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, and from the top to bottom, obviously. 1,000, 1,000, and 1,000. Is that his, like, actual measurements? Like, of him in his dragon form? Or is that, like, his human measurements? Maybe I'm tripping, but 1,000 seems pretty big for human measurements. Alright, everyone! Forget about my formalities and fire away! Wahahaha! Yes! I can sense your excitement! You're all dying to know about me, aren't you? As the most inquisitive being in this world, I am absolutely sure of it. Trust me, I'm painfully aware of how you all feel. In other words, I think this middle-aged guy just wants attention. Well, he has always been lonesome chatterbox type. Well, as you heard, he seems intent about doing this, so feel free to start asking away. Though, I guess that's easier said than done. Alright, that was the first part. And I'm pretty sure a few of the people ask him questions from what I can remember. But yeah, Veldora has always been my favorite character because I love his, like, chatty energy. And just how he has become an otaku over time, the more manga he reads. It's just kind of heartwarming to see him. Although, I kind of wish we could have gotten to see him a little bit more on his violent side. The 500 years mellowed him out a lot. And I want to see what the legends were of how Veldora was before. Q&A time with yours truly, Veldora Part 2. As I thought. I'd recognize this. It's a situation where no one can ask a question until someone breaks the ice first. Am I right? Oh, I know. The person who seizes the honor of asking the first question will be praised by Rimuru. How about it? Me? He understands the situation with Rimuru and his subordinates, and knowing that, he's using Rimuru as a reward / buffer to get people to actually, like, ask questions. Being like, they respect him and want his attention so badly that just getting some praise, they'll do it. Oh, if Great Rimuru is going to praise me for it, then I will. Does she have no fear? Like, what is she supposed to be afraid of? Or is it because, like, she just admitted that out loud? Being like, oh, Rimuru's giving praise, okay, I'll do it. Like, not even question what she has to do. Oh, so it's you, zombie girl. And damn, he just calls her zombie. I mean, then that means a lot of the people in Tempest are currently zombies, since they were all resurrected. That's a new stereotype. You died because of your recklessness, did you not? Clearly you didn't learn your lesson. Still, this is a celebration of revival for both of us. You may ask something you like. Although be warned that an insolent question may result in you going right back to whence you came. What happened to being able to ask anything? It'll be fine, Great Rimuru. I have an ultra-generic question, Lord Veldora. When you're in a good mood, what's your favorite food? Why are you rhyming? Hold on, that was a rhyme? It's fine, Great Rimuru. I have an ultra-generic question. Lord Veldora, when you're in the mood, what's your favorite food? I guess mood and food? I don't even know. That's not even much like rhyming. Yeah, those two words rhyme, but it's hardly anything. If it's your favorite food, I'm thinking Great Rimuru may also like it. So I'm going to try cooking it next time. Too generic, and besides, it's going to be a visual nightmare. Okay, so this is once again one of the events where they don't voice the line. That's not even a hard question to answer. Why wouldn't he answer it? Being like, oh, I like steak, or, you know, I like noodles, or whatever. I'll work on the visual element moving forward, but I have confidence in the taste. Well, I have heard that you can produce any flavor. In that case, let me think. I like flavors that are sweet and spicy, rich but light on the stomach, and never gets old. That's way too complex. It needs to be that good to make up for how bad the overall appearance and texture would be. I mean, makes sense, considering like when he puts it in his mouth, and it either tastes rough, slimy, or hard, it's gonna need to taste really good. Point taken. Yeah, they're not confident in her ability on presentation at all. I see. Maybe if I squeeze in a bunch of different ingredients. No! The only thing I can see coming out of that is a bigger chimeric concoction. Now then, Great Rimuru, please praise me. How about we wait on that until you learn how to prep ingredients properly? Alright? Aww, why not? Doesn't anyone have an intellectual question that only I would be able to answer? Asking for the moon, aren't you? I think the only ones who could ask an intellectual question from this group are... Fine, I'll nominate someone then. Let's see. Geld. Yeah, Geld is not the most intellectual person. It probably would be Gabryu or Vesta. Like, even though as much as Gabryu acts like a fool, he works in the science department, or at least the... Or no, it's like the R&D department. Since he helps Vesta, like, develop new stuff and inventions. Huh? Me? In the time I've been inside Rimuru, I've seen everything that's happened through his eyes. And I've long thought you've been a diligent and promising fellow, Geld. You've been putting in good work as Rimuru's subordinate. My lord, I'm honored by your praise. See, they even like his praise, so it means he didn't really even have to promise Rimuru's praise. But I also feel like you've been a bit too modest. You might think restraint is a virtue, but I think you do well to express yourself more openly. Like, this is some actual good advice. That being the case, I want you to ask me a question, right here, right now, even if you have to force yourself. Right now, let me think. How about... Yes, you thought of one. Lord Veldora, just now you mentioned that you've seen everything that's happened through Great Rimuru's eyes. I did, indeed. Well, first, I'd like to apologize. We orcs sorely regret having desecrated this forest. Ah, enough! Never mind that. You'll spoil a good meal with that kind of talk. I forgive you, so move on to the question already. Yeah, because he used to be the protector of the forest, and so I guess that's why Geld feels like he has to apologize to him too. Even though it's like, Geld has apologized 500 times about the incident. He apologized to Benimaru and all the other ogres. He's apologized to Gabriel and the Lizardmen. He's apologized to the Dryads, and I'm pretty sure he's apologized to Rimuru. As you wish. My question has to do with how you've been inside of Great Rimuru. I believe His Majesty, the previous King of Orcs, also spent his last moments in there. Have you met him by any chance? Oh, I see. That's very possible, since you were both in my stomach. How about it, Veldora? Like, I do question that sometimes. How is Rimuru able to decide if he wants to keep someone alive or not? Is it, like, by the method he eats someone? Or is it, like, instantly after he eats someone he can decide if he wants to keep them or not? Aside from Veldora, because we knew that Rimuru was working in the background to unlock unlimited imprisonment, I thought he destroyed Ifrit and the Orc Disaster. But it seems he does destroy the Orc Disaster, but not Ifrit, since we have seen him in that partial transformation that Rimuru did, and plus, we also saw that in the Veldora diaries. Ifrit was the one keeping Veldora company for so long inside Rimuru. You're talking about the former Geld, who became Demon Lord, correct? That's correct. That's a good question. To tell you the truth, I didn't live alone inside a Rimuru's stomach. I had Ifrit to be my partner in conversation. Now that's an odd pairing. Were you two actually able to hold a conversation? So I thought I'd call Demon Lord Gale to join us. But for the longest time, I thought Ifrit was mindless until the Veldora diaries. That's where I learned that he is actually sentient. Like, he just seemed like a wild monster Leon put inside Shizu just so, like, she could control her powers. But no, he's actually sentient with thoughts that we see in the Veldora diary. Also, yeah, Shizu, he also ate, but apparently she's dead. Like, I don't know if he just has her body in there, or if, like, she was completely eaten up, and so that's how he's able to take over her form and stuff like that. There must be some kind of missing context from the light novels that they don't mention in the anime and other source materials that show it's like there's a difference between all the different eating types Rimuru does. And Clayman is another person that Rimuru ate, but he's dead, and I don't think he grabbed any abilities from Clayman that I remember. But he turned me down on his own accord. He turned down an invitation from you. My deepest apologies. No, it's fine. By that, you mean... He said, I'm satisfied. I've had my fill. And he didn't say it out of selfishness.
決して独りよがりな言葉などではない。
So yeah, I think Veldora saved Ifrit, if I remember correctly. It's like Veldora has the chance to grab anyone when they're being digested and put them in the safe area. Like, Rimuru can decide that automatically, but I'm pretty sure that's what Veldora did to save Ifrit, and that's what he was going to do for the Orc disaster, and apparently this. Also, this is a pretty cool image. I'm guessing this isn't exactly the scale. I know the Orc disaster was pretty big, but I'm pretty sure he was nowhere near the size of Veldora. We're talking about a king who gave up his own flesh to feed his people, saying that he's satisfied. Do you realize what that means? I'm pretty sure it was proof of him finding peace in the knowledge that Rimuru could shoulder the past and future of the orcs. At least, that's how I saw it. Yes! I think you're right! It was a noble parting, and that's why I didn't press him to stay. I wonder, the more Rimuru levels up and evolves, will Geld eventually become an orc disaster? Because I would really like that look on Geld. Like, however different it is from his father's form. Veldora. Like, this was an actual heartwarming question, unlike Shion's question, which was just a dumb question. Lord Veldora, thank you so much! You're welcome. Now then, who's got another question for me? And I like how he gets over this emotional question so quickly, while Geld is over there, like, crying out his eyes, being like he got more information about his father and, like, the good deed he did by just allowing himself to get eaten. Hey! How about a sieg? That was a pretty somber note just now. Yeah, I do not know what that word is. I mean, is it basically like a moment of silence, or at least a little downtime? Just to let that moment savor? Alright. Yeah, I actually like that one. That one was pretty good. Alright. Let's go with the last one. Q&A time with yours truly, Veldora, Part 3. That got way more serious than I'm used to. For my next question, raise your hand if you think you can be a little more comical. Pick me! And here comes the walking joke! Yes, Gabriel, what's your question? Lord Veldora, you're the origin and esteemed figure respected by all dragon newts, myself included. I'd like to ask you a question regarding your current form. What do you want to know about this dashing visage? I suspected this might be true, but is it truly more convenient to be in human form? Huh? I have a sister, you see, but being spoiled as she is, she's able to expand and retract her wings in her human form. I'm unable to do that, but does that mean I'm inferior to my sister? Man, I forgot how stupid this question was. She just evolved into a different race, I'm pretty sure. She's no longer a dragon newt. So she just doesn't need, like, her wings out all the time. That doesn't make him more inferior just because he can't retract his wings. No, that's a bizarre inferiority complex. Are you implying that no younger sister should be better than her brother? I wonder what is his answer gonna be. Because he has his sister, and apparently he's deadly scared of his sister. from the other events that I've seen with Veldora. What's he gonna say? As a proud member of the dragon race, shouldn't I have the ability to turn into a human form? Who cares? Huh? Yeah, I agree. To be fair, Gabriel is not the most attractive person. I mean, unless most species don't care about who they're, like, pairing up with, it's gonna be a little bit of a problem. Although in Slime, they do not seem to care, because they seem love everyone. But yeah, he is badass on his own, but as something attractive, I really don't think Gabriel's the most good-looking character in this entire series. Huh? What a pointless question to ask the legendary Storm Dragon. How embarrassing. What? What? Also, they never do this, like these side shots of Gabriel. It's usually always straightforward. I only shrank myself down to this size because it was a pain being as big as I was in my previous form. At your size, I don't see it making a difference whether you're human form or dragon form. Then does that mean I'm not inferior to my sister? I don't know about that. Why? I see your clown as usual when it comes to animated reactions. Anyway, calm down. You also possess the dragon factor. I don't know if you're aware, but I've always felt you had potential. What? I was skeptical when that small fry, Gilmud, had you dancing to his tune. But at the same time, I think it's arguable that you came to be known as a lousy lizardman. Oh yeah, so he was originally a lizardman that became a dragon newt. Because you were named by a small timer like him. Gasp! You're right! At least, that's what Ifrit was saying. I guess the two of you actually did have stuff to talk about. Yeah, Rimaru's life was very eventful, so that would make quite a lot to talk about. Well, while I evolved into a new species when Great Rimaru renamed me, I didn't acquire a handy form like Sokka. How haven't you noticed when you just said it yourself? You haven't evolved once, but twice. One time when you were named, and again just recently. I want you to put your hand over your heart and feel the blood of the dragons that run through your veins. The blood of dragons? That's right. I received the gift as well. I feel I've awakened more fully to the blood of dragons. Dragon body. It's your very own species skill you've acquired by evolving. It seems like you haven't gotten the hang of it yet, but in due time, I see you becoming a fighter worthy of possessing the dragon factor and of being Rimaru's subordinate. At the very least, I will say that I sense a touch of my own flavor in those eyes, scales, and wings of yours. Oh, praise be for such precious words. You have my eternal gratitude. You're satisfied with only having a touch, Gabriel? Weird? What does that mean? I guess that means he should go for higher expectations. So it means he shouldn't just want to be only a little like Veldora. He should be like wanting to become a full-on dragon eventually. Like have his expectations high so he can at least go really far in evolving / progress. The dragon factor is something that also manifests itself in your soul and mindset. You can take pride in it, my fellow dragon. Don't look down. Keep your eyes on what lies ahead. Because on that path, you'll find the back of the father you aspired to become, and at the end of that path is where I stand. Lord Veldora! Now then, who's got another question for me? How about it? I'm repeating myself, but how about keeping the tone consistent? What's with the snippets of pithy, heartfelt advice? Alas, perhaps it's my overwhelming intelligence taking over. My intention was to try and match the occasion. But did I suck the life out of the party? No, we're actually quite happy about it. Guild? He's right. Guild and I both arrived under less than admirable circumstances, and it's something we've always been conscious about. Gabriel, the guilt of knowing that we were only alive on account of great Rimuru's kindness has always been a heavy burden. That's why I couldn't help but overwork even when he told me to rest. But now, I feel as though you've saved my soul. I couldn't possibly think of a higher praise. Lord Veldora! You guys! I see. Yeah, I guess everyone was listening to the show. Probably weren't giving it their full attention, but enough attention that they heard everything. It's like, damn, they really helped out Gale and Gabriel. Well, I guess all's well that ends well. Right? Your words have been a saving grace for our friends in Tempest. They all accepted you, didn't they? And not out of fear, but genuine acceptance. But that wasn't quite what I was going for. I'd envisioned it being more like an interview of a hero, where I'd regale everyone with a legendary tales of the first half of my life. Okay everyone, that's all for the dreary dramatic segment. We've still got plenty of parting to do. Hey! Why are you giving the closing remarks? Well, I guess this is a good place to stop. If I were to start recounting the lengthy epic of my life, I could easily see myself talking for at least a couple of years. That's right, I should eventually try getting someone to write my biography. As for the title, how about something like Veldora's Slime Observation Journal? Oh, okay, so I guess this one is supposed to lead into the Veldora Diary or Slime Observation Journal, whatever the other one is called. No wait, doesn't that make it seem like there wasn't much going on in my life until I met Rimuru? Because that's definitely not the case. Ahem. Anyhow, for all of you lucky individuals who have the chance to read my journal sometime, someplace, just sit tight. Until then, farewell! Wahahaha! Alright, that was the end of the Q&A with Veldora. Hold on, let's just go back. I just want to see something. So, is it all the way down here? So yeah, Veldora's Slime Observation Journal. So it means, I don't know if like, this one was written first, and then they wanted to mention that one in this one. It's kind of interesting like that. But yeah, that was an interesting little event. Yeah, I'm pretty sure when you guys watch the original, it'll say like included in season 2 DVD or wherever this originally is from. But yeah, it had like 2 cool images, and plus it was nice seeing that heartwarming moments between Geld, Gabriel, and Veldora. Also, I think that's a little bit of a spoiler that Gabriel has the dragon factor, because I'm pretty sure I've read somewhere that comes into play later. So, I mean, game's kind of spoiling future things. Since season 3 is currently still going, we'll see if any of that is shown off in the current season, or if we have to wait even further before we see any of that. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed Slime Isekai Memories Q&A time with yours truly, Veldora. And if you guys enjoyed, please make sure to follow me on all my social medias, like my Twitter, my Twitch, my YouTube, my DLive, my TikTok, my Kick, Rumble, Odyssey, and Dailymotion. And even check out my second YouTube channel. And like and comment on all my videos, and even join my Discord. There you can stay up to date with everything I choose to do, or my streams, videos, or anything else. But yeah, I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!